Yo, what's up guys? C-Jax back with another video, and we need to talk about the fact that Cody Rhodes is the ultimate sidekick. He is a joke, and Triple H knows it. And I want to start off with an example. In life, there is always a difference in movies and entertainment and sports and life and relationships and school, whatever it may be. There is always a difference between the real number one, who is the best at something, versus the person we are told is the best at something. For example, LeBron James, in my opinion, is the greatest basketball player of all time. But specifically, since 2007, 2008, kind of like all the way up to pretty much 2020, he was undoubtedly the best player on the planet. Besides like maybe 1 or 2 years you could debate between him and KD or him and Steph, right? 1 or 2 years maybe. But for 95% of that 12-year time span, he was undisputedly the best player on the planet. However, when Curry and Durant started winning championships, the league and the media and fans started to push the narrative that Curry and Durant, or one of those two, was the face of the NBA. And you notice how amidst all this happening, it never was truly like that. No matter how many times they told you, oh, Steph is the best on the planet, KD's the best in the world, they're the face of the league, it never panned out that way because you knew deep down LeBron was better than both of them. And it wasn't close. And this is the same thing even in music. People will tell you, oh, Taylor Swift is the best of all time. She's the best of this generation. Look at the numbers. Sabrina Carpenter, look at that sweet, I guess so, espresso. Shut up. Same thing with Taylor Swift. I shake it off. Shut up. Okay? No matter what they tell you about these people being, oh, they're the best pop actor of the generation, they're the best pop actor of all time, they're the biggest star ever, Michael Jackson is better than both of them by a mile. No matter what they tell you, LeBron is better than Steph and KD, who are also all-time great, amazing players. LeBron is better than them by a mile. They tell you Tom Holland is some amazing actor of the generation when everything he's done outside of Spider-Man has been garbage in his career. This is what the media does, and this is what people do. And I relate this to WWE terms because Cody Rhodes is the ultimate sidekick. That's what he is. It's facts. He is a sidekick who was forced and told to us that he was the number one. He was told to us that he was going to finish the story and that he was going to be this big, awesome face of the company and have this great reign that everyone wanted. You know, we want Cody, we want Cody. And Triple H bent to the pressure. He bent to it, and I don't blame him. When you have hundreds or like millions of people telling you something, you're going to do it because you're the leader of a company. You want people to be happy, or the majority of people to be happy. And I understand that. However, he did that, and the WWE Championship reign that Cody Rhodes has had, as I've explained on numerous videos, has been horrible. One of the worst WWE Championship reigns I think I've ever seen in my life. And at the end of the day, this is Triple H's fault. And this is also Cody Rhodes' fault for making this reign this bad. No other champion should ever be in the position where a couple nights ago on SmackDown, Cody Rhodes comes out and interrupts Roman Reigns' promo, which was awesome, by the way. It was quick, and he didn't say a lot, but he didn't need to. And the stuff that he did say was meaningful, was intense, it was impactful, like always. And Roman Reigns gets interrupted by Cody, and Cody gets no pop when he interrupts Roman. And people are booing him when he got out in the ring and told Roman this wasn't his WWE anymore. What other WWE champion in recent history has been in the ring with someone who doesn't even have a championship and who is a face? You are a face WWE champion. You go out in the ring with someone who doesn't even have a belt, and you are getting booed. And the crowd clearly favors the other person. This is unacceptable. This is the equivalent of pretty much, people are going to obviously bring up, oh, well, Roman Reigns' championship reign in the 2010s, in 2016, he was getting booed. It was because he was being forced and being pushed to the top of the company, and he was being forced to say things like, suffer and succotash, son, which again has more iconic value than any promo Cody's cut all year. And even when Roman was at, in the 2016 championship phase, where he was being hated by people, he still had good feuds, like his feud with Seth Rollins, for example, and the little thing they did with Dean Ambrose and Seth and Roman was great. It was awesome. And then you have his match with AJ Styles at Extreme Rules was also pretty good in my opinion. And Cody Rhodes has had 1 or 2 good matches in 6 months of a title reign. Roman Reigns did those matches and did those feuds in about the first 4 months of his title reign. So there's no excuse. Roman at his worst booking, at his worst time in his career arguably, was still better than Cody Rhodes at the quote-unquote peak of his career. And every single time that Cody Rhodes is in a drought in his career, they give him back to the bloodline and to Roman Reigns. In 2022, Cody, after WrestleMania, his return, he fights with Seth Rollins, feuds with Seth Rollins for some months, and then tears his pec. Rollins is obviously a bigger and better star than Cody Rhodes will ever be, as in the WWE. It's not even going to be close. And, after this feud, where he basically benefits from working with Seth Rollins, somebody as great as Seth Rollins, he pretty much goes on, tears his pec, comes back at the Rumble, and feuds with Roman Reigns leading up to Mania 39, in a great main event, great match, all that stuff, good build-up. But who was better in every single one of these segments? Who felt like the second fiddle in this situation? Cody Rhodes did. Roman Reigns butchered this dude on the mic multiple times. Paul Heyman cut a better promo than this dude on the mic. And then we got to the match, and Roman won, and the fans were shocked, but they were okay with it going long-term. Because even though Roman was a part-timer, he was still more interesting than Cody Rhodes, who had a one-off feud with Brock Lesnar that was boring and forgettable, and he also had a forgettable feud with Shinsuke Nakamura later that year and became boring and stale. Shinsuke hasn't been seen on TV, and I don't even know how many months it's been at this point. He's a nobody now. He's a jobber. Just like Cody Rhodes was a jobber for most of his career until now. And like I'm going to say later in this video, once a jobber, always a jobber. But anyways, as we get to 2024, the WrestleMania build-up is basically, they tease it at the very beginning of the year on day one episode of Raw. Rock wants Roman Reigns at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. And that's what we were supposed to get. But then Cody Rhodes, after politicking and doing all this other nonsense, and the crowd doing the "we want Cody," and the internet wrestling fans are "we want Cody, we want Cody." You still want Cody? Or do you want the OTC? That's what I thought. Now, anyways, they do all this. Rock and Roman gets canceled, and we get Cody versus Roman at WrestleMania 40. Amazing main event. Awesome match. I was there for that match. It was epic. Everything that went down was good. The in-ring work was great from both Roman and Cody. However, now that we have this championship reign, it's evident to see that after all the boring, the dry months of Cody's career in 2023 and in 2022, leading up to this moment for him to finally finish this story, and it wasn't even worth it. Because after he finished the story, this reign has been absolute and utter garbage. And you ask yourself, how is this dude still having a bad championship reign at this point? After all this buildup, all this pushing down our throats that this guy's going to save the company. He's going to be there every week. He's going to be a full-time champion who's only had like 2 or 3 full matches on SmackDown in 5 months. But anyways, he's going to be a full-time champion who's going to save us from the abyss that heel Roman was leaving us in where he wasn't showing up. And now you're waiting every week patiently and excitingly for Roman Reigns to show up once every 2 or 3 weeks. You see what I'm saying? The tables have turned because the guy that they told you was number one, the person that WWE fans and WWE in general pushed down our throats as the number one guy, Cody Rhodes, has been revealed to be an imposter, a fake number one. Because the real number one and the real best in the WWE, and it's been like this for a long time now, for a decade dang near, is Roman Reigns. And no matter how you spin it, and no matter how much you push someone agenda that, oh, they're better than this person. Oh, they're amazing. They're this, they're that. They're selling the merch. They're doing this. Whoa, as my father said. Like, no. No matter how much that stuff happens, there will always be a discrepancy between who people tell you is the best at something versus who actually is the best. And now that Cody got the title, which is supposed to be the North Star of the wrestling division, what do you want to talk about? Libations, Wheatley. Now that all that's done, and we're still in the middle of this title reign, and he is so boring still that they have to pair him with Roman Reigns again in this tag team feud to build him up for either something with The Rock or just a match at Bad Blood so he can finally have a main event in his hometown, or a main event on a PLE in general for the first time since SummerSlam. But the main event at SummerSlam was just done for the return of Roman Reigns. Everything this dude does that actually matters is in service to a bigger star than him. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, The Rock. It's very simple, and there's nothing else that really needs to be said about this. It's the truth that people need to realize, man. Just imagine if John Cena as WWE champion consistently just kept going back and forth with the Nexus for 2 straight years. Whenever his story got mildly mediocre or boring, he just went to the Nexus and went to go feud with them. It would make John Cena look like an inferior and a bad champion, because if that's what he was doing, it would inherently make him bad. But did John Cena do stuff like that? No. He had amazing promos, good feuds, and pretty much solid matches overall. Because John Cena is a true legend and a true greatest. He's one of the greatest ever, if not the greatest ever. And he's not just told that that's what he is that. I don't even need to yell. I don't need to yell and get angry in a big old rant, which this video is kind of a rant anyways, but it's not a yelling rant, because this is a simple discussion and an explanation of the fact that Cody Rhodes is a bona fide sidekick and will forever be a mid-carder / jobber. It doesn't matter how much you repackage and repurpose yourself. Cesaro left WWE. He was a super talented wrestler. And now look, You don't even know what that dude's been doing the last 4 years because nobody knows. He's a jobber in AEW or wherever he's at. No one cares about Cesaro in the pantheon of professional wrestling at the moment. I'm sorry. Okay, I like Cesaro. I like his match. He's a good wrestler, but this is unacceptable. He can't cut a promo and he can't tell a story. That's why he's in AEW doing nothing. Sami Zayn, they repackage his character. The work with the Bloodline works amazingly. Then they finally build him up to be the person who always gets this special moment at Mania. He beats Gunther and wins the Intercontinental title, and then what? Mid-reign. And people are calling him Sammy Hogan and are moving on from the guy. Karrion Kross, they switch up his character and do this and do that in the Final Testament. And now look, he's a jobber, just like he always is. Once a mid-carder / once a jobber, always a jobber. Once you're Stardust, there's no coming back from it. It doesn't matter if you repackage yourself as, oh, I'm the American Nightmare now. I'm the American Nightmare. Cool. You come back. You finally get what you want after politicking your way through everything. You get the WWE Championship, and your reign is horrible. And Triple H knows it's bad. He knows it's bad. And so he has to put you with Roman Reigns to actually make you relevant, make you interesting, and make people care about you or your title reign. And even with that, you still get booed by the audience. And the majority of the real audience of people who actually know professional wrestling would much rather watch Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre and Punk and all these other people before they ever think about watching something related to Cody Rhodes, even though he's the WWE champion and the quote-unquote face of the company. It's the facts. So yeah, that's all I needed to say. Cody Rhodes is a bona fide sidekick, and he will always be a mid-carder / jobber. And there's nothing that can be done to change that, no matter what people tell you. Roman is a bigger star. Cody Rhodes is a great guy, but he is a terrible champion. And that's all I got to say about this, man. Hope you guys have a phenomenal day. Peace out.